Ah, we're finally back. We start off in the Temple of Time, and now that we're an adult, we can take on the place where the dead roam, the Shadow Temple. We won't run away anymore, it's time to face our fears. But first we need to travel to Kakariko Village, and collect a couple of things we'll need later on in our adventure, and also to get into the Shadow Temple. First up, the Cuckoo Lady. We will need her egg, so we'll grab that first, and we will catch some bugs. After this we will head to the graveyard to get the Hylian Shield, Hookshot and Deku Nuts. But we will speed this up. Yeah, just let it happen. Give it a sec. Ah, now we have everything we need. Now it's time to get into the Shadow Temple, but you know me, and you know how Thief Bug is. Time to do some glitches.
First off, we'll need our well-known infinite sword glitch. Once our sword glows, we'll do a follow-up of rolls and hops to give us a very precise angle. We then position ourselves close to the fence and perform a trick called Super Slide by rolling into damaged swords while trying to grab an object. This pushes us back infinitely with a huge amount of speed. Link will permanently try to grab the grass bush until I release my shield, which makes Link slide for as long as I want. The combination of angle and position makes Link slide onto a tombstone. Due to the angle I dropped the chew with, the bush never got destroyed. When I now release R, Link will try to grab it again. Now, the infinite sword glitch kicks in and prevents us from falling down as Link tries to pick up the bush, which he can't because we never obtained a strength upgrade. The height we just obtained by sliding onto the tombstone was just enough to make the side hop onto the seam of the map, so we can walk our way to Shadow Temple. Once again, actors like the door are not loaded, which lets us enter the temple without having any requirements like fire arrows, Din's fire, or even magic.
So now we're finally in the Shadow Temple. The first thing we need to do is getting the hover boots. Now that we have the hover boots, we can perform a couple of glitches that will help us skip the entire dungeon. Yeah, it's ridiculous, but very handy.
Here I do a glitch called Entrance Point Glitch. This means that the point the game saved as the entrance for the door will be slightly different. Keep that in mind for later. Now I will do a very precise glitch called Boat Skip. This works by first getting the infinite sword glitch with a pot and then hovering out of bounds. The entrance point glitch manipulates the point I'm supposed to respawn at if I, for example, fell out of bounds. During the respawn walk-in animation, Link has absolutely no collision, which makes him walk through the corner here or through any walls in his way. Now I will do a follow-up of very precise movements to navigate myself to the last room of the temple, where I then will perform a trick to boost myself through the boss door and enter the boss room.
So now we are in the boss room. This took around 4 minutes, so yeah, it saved a lot of time. Now it's time to take on the boss Bongo Bongo. But there are a couple of little tricks we can use here to defeat him very easily and also very fast.
If I jump slash down, the game will memorize this attack and all my upcoming crouch stabs will deal the same amount of damage as the jump slash does. Here, I activate the infinite sword glitch so that Bongo cannot make me bounce by drumming. This makes the fight way easier. Also, keep in mind that the infinite sword glitch is caused by a crouch stab, which means that I will now technically do a jump slash every frame to everything that touches my sword, just as Bongo Bongo.
Now that we defeated the boss, it's time to get out of this mess. But the cutscene.
No one likes cutscenes. Let's skip that one. First I'll release bugs and catch some bugs, damage myself and get in a very specific position, so a backflip will hit the very back of the warp of the dungeon. While backflipping, I will do a glitch called Ocarina items to activate the warp and interrupt the cutscene. This way I'm able to walk again, run off the platform, and jump happily into my own death. This skips the cutscene and spawns me at the beginning of the temple again, pretty convenient.
So now that we're back at the beginning of the temple, we can leave. But now that we're out, we need to get a bottle, and we have a weird little glitch for this.
Here, I turn my Deku Nuts into a bottle using a glitch called Shield Swipe. Shield Swipe messes up the order of the last pressed button and puts a bottle with a freshly caught content onto the last button I hit.
But this isn't the last item we'll need, so we need to get another bottle, bombs, and a lot more. So let's do that, with glitches.
Let's grab a Poe and do a glitch called Action Swap. This messes with the order of items I used last and lets me overwrite my B button with a bottle. This bottle writes values to certain spots depending on my C right button. Putting a bottle on C right gives me a new bottle. Putting a Poe on C right gives me bomb chews, for example. I use this to give me even more bomb chews as we'll need them later. This entire procedure is called reverse bottle adventure. At this part of the game, neither are you supposed to not have any deku sticks, nor should there be a bottle over your deku nuts or on your B button. This messes with the game's memory so much that the inventory can't be displayed correctly anymore.
So yeah, we kind of broke the inventory screen, but we can't do much about it now. Now let's take on a new challenge. There's one boss that we left behind in the child era, and we need to go after him in the name of the Gorons. King Dondongo, the infernal dinosaur, will take him on because... we can just travel to the Dondongo's Cavern in the adult era. The game assumes we already completed that part of the game, so no obstacles here. As soon as we are inside, we need to save the game and restart, otherwise the game will crash later on. Now that we are in the cave, we first need to light up the eyes. We will do this with 2 bomb chews and standing in the correct position. Now that the eyes are lit, we can continue, but getting the bomb bag would be really handy, and going through the entire dungeon is just lame and takes a lot of time. So let's use a little trick to get up there on the bridge.
Oh shit, I died. Unfortunately I had a fairy. Hookshotting something makes my velocity go up, as I'm supposed to go upwards. Dying at the same time disables my hookshot, but it keeps my velocity, making me go up all the way to the ceiling.
So now we have the bomb bag and we can go through the mouth towards the boss, but there's a little puzzle in the way. So let's skip that part with a little glitch.
Having a bottle in your hand will make a cutscene start immediately after hitting a button. Being in a busy state, such as backflipping, delays the cutscene until you hit the floor. If you now put another item in your hand while backflipping, the game will try to run this cutscene with the item in your hand, which isn't possible with items such as hookshot or sword. Not being able to perform the cutscene makes the game go all the way back to the default cutscene, which is playing the ocarina. Playing the ocarina on switches just as you land on them delays the switch timer, giving us the opportunity to skip the puzzle of this room entirely.
Bye bye puzzle, let's go straight to King Dondongo. The big, bad dinosaur. Let's do this. Well, that went fast. Now that we killed him, we need to get the heart piece, save, reboot, get damaged, and head back to the boss room to perform a glitch that will bring us to a whole new place. For this, we'll use the warp.
Performing an interruptive cutscene, like ocarina items, on warps gives you certain possibilities, such as die-in or warping away. Activating the cutscene of the warp in the same moment as the game tries to put you elsewhere results in a glitch called wrong warp. Here, I died to make the game try to put me back to the entrance of the dungeon, while the game also tries to start the Goron Ruby cutscene. The game doesn't know which cutscene to play on the map I just got to because there is no cutscene to play, and starts going down a list. Here, it starts a cutscene that it just calculated depending on the room you're in, the warp you just used, and the first cutscene to play after you stepped into the warp. This leads us to the following very simple equation. Dondongo's Cavern plus death plus Ruby cutscene equals Gerudo Training Grounds. Simple, isn't it? Oh, there is a little more to it, but I think this is confusing enough as it is already.
Great, now we are in the Devil's Den. Let's see how this will go for us in the next part. Thanks for watching everybody, don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss the next part. Don't forget to check out Thiefbug's awesome stream where he does all kinds of speedruns.